Yeah, Alex,
Hello, hello. How are you?
I am good. Having a very slow day today.
All right.
Yeah.
Same thing. Not really, actually, but I have a quiet moment.
Mhm. So how's life? How's life on your end?
Well, how's my life? What do you think?
It's tough for everyone, I guess, in the crypto space.
Huh?
Right now, the markets are not so motivating, I would say.
Huh. What's the? How much you say now? Do you know?
Last I checked, it was 25. Let me see.
Oh, 25.
25 cents.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 25 cents.
Well, somebody told me you should earn fiat and then think if you can invest the fiat that you earn in crypto.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, crazy times. But I think the market will start picking probably at the end of the year or early next year. These
Uh,
prices may stick throughout the year. There's a chance.
oh, well. So what should we do? Uh,
I wish I had the answer. If I did, I'd probably make a lot of money. Start a startup giving people solutions on what to do.
oh yeah, I don't know. Phew, technology is very weird, huh? It's like
Yeah,
I don't know.
hey Dan, what's up?
ATT. I'm in traffic, so
Oh, okay.
Do people celebrate Labor Day in your country?
Yeah, we do. I don't know when, but we do, yeah. I think it's a global holiday.
Huh. Yeah.
First May. Yeah. Ian, hi.
Hello, Titi.
Long time. Where have you been?
I've been. It's a long story, man.
Is it a good one?
A mix of both.
Okay. That's
Hello,
life.
Dan and Alex.
Huh?
Oh yeah, so Ian, we did see your PR. We had a chance to talk about it on one of our internal meetings. I don't know if there was a response made on your PR.
Let me check it out.
Yeah, but the general consensus was it would be best to keep GitHub functionalities to GitHub, and maybe what you can do on your PR is just show some stats of maybe open issues PRs that have been merged and closed, and PRs that are awaiting review. So we can have stats and maybe just links to those specific places, like the links where the issues are, the links where the PRs are, the links to where the closed merge requests are. So instead of pulling all the issues to the website, GitHub that's the purpose of GitHub. So we can just have GitHub do what it's supposed to do, and maybe for our own case, just show the stats rather than carry the issue or issue the issues themselves to the website. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, besides that, what else are you working on? What have you been building?
There was some DApp I had deployed to Base, but of late I've been getting into Aiken, and I figured that there's a lot of things that I had done, and there's more that I wanted to do that was difficult in Solidity. But when I translate it to Aiken, it's easier. So I'm overhauling like the entire. It's an NFT minting DApp where you mint music. So I want the entire minting to be handled in the Cardano side of things. I also participated in the Charlie 3 hackathon last weekend, and it was humbling because I figured that I don't know much about smart contract development and like the nitty-gritties of things. And finally, I have submitted my candidacy to the Technical Steering and Growth Committee. So I humbly request you guys vote for me.
Oh, nice. Looking forward to that. You have my vote, as you know. Yes, we'll just wait and see. Yeah, so I actually was planning to talk more about the DApp architecture today. Just give an example of how I have built some DApps before. Well, this is sort of a very simple example, probably very close to what you're talking about, where a user can come on a site, pay for something, then there's a minting action that happens once the payment is confirmed. So this is more of like an event-driven architecture, basically for Cardano. Let me start sharing my screen so we can just have a discussion, and maybe you will resonate since you're building the same thing. Maybe you can tell me what you've found so far, and maybe the challenges. It is nice for you to join the call, I guess. I had an example up here. Yeah, so so this is the general flow of a basic architecture that I was thinking about, just to sort of try and find a level plane for everyone who's new and everyone who's been around for some time. I think this is a simple to understand. So, for example, in a DApp, the user comes, connect their wallet, they pay for something, then we have to confirm that payment before we do anything. So we can pay for something, we can go in the back end, we can use BlockFrost just to pull the status of that payment. Once it's on BlockFrost, we are sure that the payment is successful. Then BlockFrost, out of BlockFrost, you can trigger an event, for example, in your case, to mint music, as you were saying. So there are different ways people may approach this depending on on the type of platform you're building. So in a case where it's a DEX, of course, we know there are smart contracts that are involved, so the architecture may be different from this, but I'm sure the general flow is just user does this action, we confirm that that action is on chain. Once we confirm that action is on chain, there is an effect to that action. Yeah, so the layers are simple for this one, just the user layer, the sign, the front end that orchestrates everything, that's the building transaction and managing the state, in this case, handling the different states, the waiting and changing the UI once we have an update from the blockchain. So ideally, you'd want the logic talking to the backend to live in some sort of backend where it can just do some polling as the front end waits for communication. And then the blockchain now is where we get all the verification of events that have happened. So the backend will talk to the blockchain, and you can use the different things you can use for this. Yeah, so we have Blockfrost, which is a popular one. There is also Yahtzee Store, which is coming up and has been recently been doing very well. Yahtzee Store has different setups that you may use. Yeah, I'm actually going to build something on Yahtzee Store for 1694 this coming week. Yeah, so 1694 is also something similar but different. For 1694, what we do is we don't necessarily have engagements with the user because this is just a place to track all the governance events that are taking place, the votes when they come in. We sort of have an architecture where we are checking for votes or proposals that are being submitted, delegations for each delegator. So for example, here we have a timeline that just shows all the events that our delegators had. Say, for example, is there a way you can just remove this? Okay. So for this delegator, for example, we track all the events that the delegator that show up for the delegator. So if it's a vote, this is an example of a delegator making a vote. There are some events where people are delegating to that delegator, that DREP, sorry. So yeah, we just track every single detail pertaining to governance. So this, for example, this has a different architecture. We use Aura to sort of track or listen for on-chain events. So we have a list of DREPs, and what Aura does for you, it makes querying the blockchain very granular. So you can decide the exact thing that you're looking for on any transaction. So if you're looking for an asset name, in this case, an NFT name, if you, for example, in your app, you're attaching messages so that you can make your transactions unique in some sort of way, pseudo unique, I would say. Aura enables you to just pick very specific thing in the block. So if you're just tracking like a list of addresses, Aura is the best place to use, or is the best thing to use for that. So you can have a list of addresses, and once you have a list of addresses, you can just use it to check on chain if that address will appear in any transaction. So for our case, I did have to update Aura to support DREPs or DREP IDs. So I have a list of DREP IDs, and I use Aura. To sort of track this data. So if, for example, I did votes, I'll see the DREP credentials on chain once they make the vote, and I can just pull that data and add it to our storage. So this is a different architecture altogether. You can use Aura as your listening tool for the blockchain. It has proper documentation about the things you can select. If it's an address, you can even give it a list of addresses and stake address. So if any of this is involved in a transaction, Aura will pick it, and then you can have an effect. Yeah, so syncs, this is the effect. Once you pick it, there's options for you to use that information. So if you're running a data pipeline, you can have Kafka to just add it to an event and fire an event to your app. Or if you have a webhook, maybe your app has an endpoint. Anytime Aura picks any of those transactions, it will just send the entire transaction detail or the entire block detail to your webhook. So yeah, 1694 has some sort of different architecture, mainly because it's not a user dependent DApp, it's a hybrid probably, but we also have other connectivities like Connect Wallet. This is mainly for us determining if you're a DREP so that you can claim an account and all that. That is also a different thing. I can show you another example. Let me remember the name of the app. What's the name of the app? I forget. Someone just mentioned it here. I've forgotten the name of that app. Oh, this is it. I had a link. That's the one. The link.io. Okay. Yeah, so this is also another example of a DApp that has some nice functionalities. Actually, you can be able to earn real ADA from this application. It's for marketing affiliates, so you can have like an affiliate link and share it, and then you earn. I'm not sure about the way, but you can read or just get started and sign up. This also has the same functionality where you connect your wallet. Once you pay for the minimum fee, there is Aura listening in on the back end. So we record the transaction and the address, and then we tag. So in this application, we tag every transactions that come from this app with a specific identifier that we have configured on Aura to sort of look it up. So you pay for a transaction instead of us having to use Blockfrost to just query it several times, because Blockfrost can be expensive. So you can have Aura in the backend. Just give it, if you see a transaction with this particular metadata, send it to the application, then we'll sort it. We'll sort the whole data in our application. So this is one of the architectures you can set up if you want to avoid the cost of Blockfrost. This will only make sense if you have maybe more than probably 5,000 users or more than 10,000 users. It would make sense to have your own custom thing. But if you're just starting, I think Blockfrost will work best for you. Yeah, but this is also another example of how you can use Aura just to look for things on chain. So this follows this same architecture that I was sharing here. It follows almost the same. User connects, pays, then in the back end, instead of us polling several times to Blockfrost, we just have Aura now as the thing that communicates to the blockchain or listens on events on the block. So Aura will, once Aura finds our transaction, it will send it back to our backend. Our backend now will do what it's supposed to do, figure out what transaction this is, who it belongs to, and update every record that requires. So that is also an example of an event-driven architecture in Cardano. So yeah, I don't know where you stand or if anyone has a comment, something to add. But yeah, that's what I was planning to do today. That is what I was planning to talk about today. So Ian, how close does this architecture match to whatever you're trying to do? Or what are some of the challenges that you're facing?
One of the challenges that I've been facing is most of the users that I'm targeting, they are not crypto native, and the experience of them having gas, like having native tokens to pay for gas, and at the other end, they're having stable coins to buy music, is sort of confusing for them. So I don't know if we can offer like gas transactions or a way that even if they have stable coins, the stable coins can be used to pay for gas.
Right. So yeah, that is a common problem now that we have a very disintegrated different chains, I'd say. I'm not sure how you can do that unless you find like a common thing to be used for payments. This, I guess, Midnight may be one of the solutions because it's multi-chain. It can be one of the solutions. So if people need to pay for transactions, you can find a way maybe to do an internal exchange of tokens. So if there are people on Bitcoin, we have a bridge with Bitcoin. That might be something you may want to explore. I'm not sure if we have a bridge. I don't know if we have any bridge with Ethereum or any of those account type blockchains. But now for your case, I guess you'd have to make some sort of exchange layer where users can come with the tokens that they have, and you can do the exchange for them internally in the app, or use external dexes to make the swap, which is just as I'm talking, I'm realizing how complex that is. But yeah, that's unfortunately one or the only ways you can tackle such a problem, which is super unfortunate. But I'm hopeful that Midnight will sort of make things easier for people building on the multi-chains. I haven't fully explored the capabilities of Midnight on such scale, but I'm guessing that would be one of the ways or one of the things you can add to your list of things to do to figure out how it can solve that problem. Because I've had people mentioning it's multi-chain because the drops were done for different blockchains. So probably it may be a way to make things easier in terms of transactions and whatnot. So it may be a good thing to maybe research on that and see if it's helpful. If you get any information, you can always reach out to me and we can discuss further on that topic. Bivan, hi. Thanks for joining.
Hi.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself, maybe let us know you.
So I'm Bivan. I'm a software developer, a recent graduate. Yeah. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too. So how did you hear about Cardano, or have you been one of our meetings or working group sessions? Have you been following what we were talking about?
Yeah, I've attended some of your meetings, but I've not been following like seriously, but I'm on the track to be an active member and follow new guys. I see you're doing a great job. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I guess for you, the things that I can recommend for you is probably to join Intersect if you have not joined yet. Intersect is a member-based organization for Cardano. And what that means, it's the layer that's sitting between the tech and the actual community. So it's the best place to start. We have a bunch of things for community members that will probably get them on their way to whatever they want to achieve. So for example, as a developer, I would recommend keeping an eye on the open source committee, because that's the first place that deals with the technical stuff. The open source committee is in charge of the core repos, that the technology that runs the actual network. So it will be a good idea to just know what the open source office is all about at Intersect. Get to jump into the working group meetings as a way of just figuring out how you can play a part as a developer. The next item I would encourage you to do once you've joined Intersect is, let's see, we have a set of repos here that may be a good thing for you to just try and contribute if you want to get your contribution tags up, just to make your own career and maybe make your CV sound strong in case you're going to hunt for jobs, hopefully in the blockchain space. We have a lot of repos here. The core, we have different repos, different repos with different purposes. So we have a few that make the actual network, and others for mostly documentation. We have other projects in the community that have handed the projects to Intersect to help maintain, because that's also one of our purpose. So we look for tools in the community that need maintenance, and if the maintenance don't have like revenue resources to take care of that project, you can submit it to Intersect, and Intersect will find community members to come on board and help maintain the project. They can also fund you as the creator of the project to just make sure it's going on as the core maintainer. So also, Intersect also has a few pathways that are actually well suited for you as a developer. Let me see. Intersect MBO. Intersect knowledge base. We have a few pathways that we always try to let people know that they can work towards. As a developer, once you are a bit conversant with the ecosystem,
Yeah.
there are a few roles that you can sign up for just to be part of the ecosystem. One of the roles, as you've had, I don't know if you've had, there is Ian here on the call is vying for a committee seat. Now, the committee are just a set of elected members from the community who are tasked with making decisions that affect the community at large. So we have different committees, the steering committee, membership, growth, and all that. Every committee has its own docket that it's supposed to manage. Open source is now where I would recommend probably a developer or someone technical who wants to write code or maybe get into actual contribution to the open source repository. This is where I would recommend you to go to. Yeah, there's instructions on how to join. when the calls are on, you can just come on the call. It's open to the community members to come and listen in on what the community is deciding about and just give their 2 cents. But the committee members are the actual people tasked with voting for things that need to get done. We have different growth avenues, I would call them. Let's see, the open source model. Yeah, so one of the things I've just mentioned, where we do take projects from the community to just make sure that the projects stay alive as long as the community still finds them useful. One of those is an effort by the paid open source model. So the paid open source model has different programs within it that just make sure we make Cardano sustainable, meaning that every aspect of open source is taken care of in terms of projects that are there, maintainership, community engagement, advocacy, and all that. So there are different ways for you to probably find a living on those different programs. We have the bounty program where you're paid to, of course, solve bugs in Cardano, find them and solve them. We have the advocacy program, which I'm a part of. That's also one way of you finding things to do. There is the open source committee. You can be a committee member and contribute. So these are 3 different things you might want to look at. But first of all, I would recommend for you to just know the actual blockchain itself. One of the places to do that will be the Cardano Foundation. It has some very good introductory tutorials for you to just know the actual blockchain, how it works, every single term that you'll hear people throwing around, EUTXOs, and all that. When it comes to SPOs, what that means, how to be an SPO, and all those details, you'd probably find them in that course. So the Cardano Academy has a few courses that I think will be very beneficial to you if you're completely blue or you have a bit of experience. It sort of cuts across those two different personas. So yeah, you can learn about ICANN, Cardano governance, just learn what it is, how it works. ICANN, the smart contract language that is currently very popular. We have the Cardano certified. So this is probably where I'd ask you to start from, just to get the basics, of blockchain. Then once you get the basics of the blockchain, you can now start learning or comparing those nodes to how now Cardano works. Once you're comfortable with that, I think you'll be good to now pick a path that you may want to follow.
Okay. I've already got started with Intersect.
Mm-hmm.
I reach out when to inquire more. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Paluku, hi.
Hey, hello, Manuel.
Hi, did you solve the issue you had?
Yeah. Titi assisted me. A couple of times I was with Titi last week.
Yeah,
Yes, it was just after our meeting. It was just after our meeting. He was able to get me through, and now I'm growing slowly but surely.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I think in few days I have to come up with a very clear structure
Okay, that's nice
Yeah.
to hear. Yeah.
Thank you for everything, Emmanuel.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I guess we can call that a day unless any of you has any other thing to add. Yes, Jan.
I was wondering, since
Mhm.
we have a lot of resources in the ecosystem,
Yeah.
but they are all over the place, and even like when you do the when you watch the videos and you gain the knowledge, sometimes the best that will come out of that situation is you getting another certificate to put on your LinkedIn. So
Mhm.
I was thinking about how we can use Andamio to compile all the resources in a way that even someone who is in university, they can use the resources to major in blockchain technology, and the resources can be used as a way to secure credit transfers. So they, like, if it's a 4-year degree and they spent 2 years doing the general stuff, and in the side they've been going through the Cardano blockchain developer specialist curriculum. They can use the curriculum in Andamio to ask for credit transfers, so they don't have even to finish the 4 years. And in that way, you can have someone who is in first year, second year, and they're already contributing to Intersect, contributing to Prism and all the Cardano institutions.
Yeah, so that's a very good idea. And what I can tell you is we have a working group that has been trying to solve that specific problem for I think we've met like 4 times now. We have weekly meetings just to consolidate all the documentation in Cardano. I've pasted the link of that meeting. The meeting is actually on Wednesdays, every Wednesdays. The purpose of this meeting is to, what you've just mentioned, create a central place where all the documentation that anybody coming into Cardano can just go to that one place, get everything they need. We have sort of tried to pick out different personas that may be coming to Cardano, people from other chains, people who are completely blue, people who already have experiences. So there are different personas that we're trying to cater for in that one place. That is the Cardano portal, Cardano developer portal.
Sure, I'll be there.
Yeah, so you can come. It's also open for anyone. It's also open for anyone to join, and we encourage members from the community like yourself to come and just give their own perspective, because most of the people there are people who have already been around. They probably don't know the pain of starting out if you're just coming from another chain or completely beginner. So we encourage everyone to just come in so that we can get their own perspective and use those sentiments to just sort of just guide how we are going to revamp this developer portal. So it's sort of encompasses every aspect. For the credit aspect, I think that's something worth talking about. And it would also make sense if you probably talk about it where we have people who can have the power to make such changes or drive such changes. And some of the people, you find them in that call that sort of have the capacity to drive such ideas. So I'd encourage also you to come and join us and air out your views as a beginner or someone coming from the other chain, just to contribute to how we want that developer portal to look, or how we want the general developer experience to feel like as a developer. So we are working on some of the pain points you just mentioned. Yes. Any other questions?
Yeah, it's not just a question. I think it's just a comment.
Mhm.
I thought Emmanuel is a different person to TT. So no,
No.
when I was checking now, I realized just that Emmanuel is just a some person. I'm sorry for that, Emmanuel. Emmanuel TT. Yeah, definitely.
That's fine. That's fine. That's
Okay.
me. So you've been talking to me all week.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll see you guys on the next call. The next call will be on Thursday in the afternoon. That is about 7 p.m. 7 p.m. EAT. That translates to 6 p.m. UTC. So you guys should join us next Thursday. We'll probably be talking about something else. For this quarter, we are trying to make things a bit more technical. So we'll be covering, so this is one of the steps. This is one of the things that we're doing. Today's session was an example of how the other sessions will be. It will be more technical, just covering end-to-end bits of different personas. Like if you want to be an SPO, this is how you be an SPO. This is how you, from the terminal to having your pool running. So we'll cover a lot of those sessions, try to make videos around those personas. If you're a smart contract developer, this is how it goes. The last week's sessions sort of covered how to build an SDK, an off-chain SDK. So if that's what you want to do, we have a video on that on YouTube. We'll update the DevX website to have all the sessions and notes to those sessions. So expect more of this. We are also going to try and bring community members who have built products so that they can explain how they have done the marketing and distribution and just finding users of their target audience to do things on the products they've built. So yeah, that's also something we're looking forward to do this quarter. So I guess I'll see you guys on the coming calls. Thank you for joining.
Goodbye, folks.
Okay, bye.